Good morning, Karen from Quantum Heart Awakening. Let's do a Divine Feminine check-in and see where we're at. Okay. All right. What do we need to know about the Divine Feminine path right now? Okay, we just got a bunch of cards. Let's see. All right, we have Time for a Nap in reverse, which is, an action card, right? Let's see, breathe in reverse, happy, happy, new life in reverse, anything else, Spirit? We have blessed, really beautiful, light, rose-colored energy here. Anything else, Spirit? Anything else? And then we have deep knowing in reverse, which I think the masculines just got this yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, in the unconscious, we have unfinished symphony in reverse in the unconscious. For me, this is a double, right? A double reversal. The feminines, some of you are holding on to something that has been completed. Or some of you have yet to do some leftover shadow work around a situation that has completed, maybe an old friendship, relationship, an old job. What are you holding on to currently that feels unfinished? No, that's the wrong question. Hold on. The question is actually, where are you leaking energy to the past, basically? What has completed that that feels unfinished? Okay, I'll stop saying the same thing over and over again. I'm just feeling this energy. It's a lot of beautiful cards, and you feel this kind of like, in shows or in movies when they go back, they either do a flashback to a previous part of someone's life or another time, and there's kind of this rose-colored glow that they put on everybody, right? It's not the same lighting that it is in the normal present time filming. And so there's something here about that, of revisiting a past time. My initial intuition felt like this was in the future, but now as I'm sitting here, oh, I see. Okay. The message is it's going to behoove you to revisit times in the past when you have felt at your most aligned, your happiest, essentially. And remember, happiness isn't the ultimate goal. Happiness is just a symptom of a greater alignment, right? That's just a symptom. It's a byproduct. Happiness is a byproduct. Our true goal, and I'm not going to make this blanket statement, but I think a lot of people on the spiritual path have a goal to be able to hold their center for love of self and other in most flavors of chaos. You've heard me say that all the time. That's early on in the path, many people are running towards this thing called happiness. Well, happiness is arbitrary. Happiness is kind of, it's a passing breeze, right? It's a passing emotional energy, or my old professor would say it's a psychoactivation, right? It's just like the brain is having a reactive response to a stimulus. So there's something interesting here about actually utilizing past happiness to initiate this new life going forward. Another message coming up here is that sinking back into a time where you have felt happy, where you felt gratitude, where you felt blessed, will actually give you clarity on this deep inner knowing of how to take a step forward. So it makes sense to me. We have time for a nap in reverse. So it's not time for a nap. It's time to take action. And I'm just trying to see where this breathe card in reverse fits in. It doesn't feel clear to me. It just feels like a general well-being card. Are you taking care of yourself? What happens when we hold our breaths, right? It creates a lot of, that's the question. What happens when we hold our breath? It creates a lot of pressure in our system. It might even give you a headache sometimes. It might give you raised blood pressure. I didn't know that. One time I was at the doctor and they took my blood pressure and it was through the roof. And she's like, hold on, I feel like you're not breathing. Take a bunch of deep breaths and let's take it again. And it went down by like 30 points or something crazy. I had no idea. It makes total sense. I just never thought about it. So, there's another message here around, are you holding your breath, waiting for a person, place, or thing to come in? Are you holding your breath in waiting energy? And or are you holding your breath in regards to solving or confronting a past issue? There's something here about, like a stalling energy or an avoidance. Avoidance is a strong word, but it's also here. So, let's get some more information. Let's see. Whew. Yeah, the energies feel a little thick today. All right, for feminines, what else do they need to know about this new life? What would support them in bringing this new life to fruition? Yeah, we have passion in reverse. Yeah, another piece of this is revisiting the past or revisiting a moment where you were on fire. What was the most on fire part of your life? What were you doing? Who were you with? What did those people, places, or things used to stimulate in you? Where did you go? What did you see there? Really start to dive into the who, what, where questions. And remember, we're not, if it's revealed to you that, say, a person was the thing that made you the most happy, or a person ignited that passion within you, remember not to attach your future to a person, right? What can you take accountability for in that relationship or in that connection that really ignited you? And how can you create that feeling or that environment for you in the present moment so that you can, again, naturally have the opportunity to ignite this happiness, ignite this passion, right? We're not praying for this thing called happiness and passion and fulfillment. We are praying for the strength, the inner fortitude to be able to create the optimal environment for these symptoms to arrive. And I like to think about happiness and passion as a symptom. It's fun, right? It's kind of goes against the grain of what we normally think. Okay, so we have confidence, we have justice, and we have love in reverse. Okay, so masculines got some of these cards. I actually think they did get love in reverse. Hold on, let me stop shuffling and actually feel this. I'm wondering, feminines, if you're being called to bring justice to a previous connection, to a previous relationship. Do you have any outstanding relationships? Is it time to bring balance and closure to them? The closure in it of itself may bring the balance, right? So, is there any relationship, as you hear me say this, pay attention to your body. Is there any relationship that feels unfinished, that you didn't have closure to, that you feel like you're leaking energy towards? Very obvious message here about having confidence, taking a step forward in bringing about this balance, or a separate message, a totally separate message here. and this feels actually more in alignment. I can't tell anyone what's resonant and what's not. That's up for you to decide. But another huge message here that feels resonant, especially for the feminine soulmate cycle, is have confidence in knowing that you did the best you could at the level of consciousness that you were operating at. That your love, your intuition, and your feelings were true and correct. Right? That you whether the scenario was right or wrong, you showed up in your authentic self-expression. So this justice that you're bringing may be to an internal conundrum, or an internal like, have you been spinning your wheels thinking about a love relationship from the past? It's time that you bring yourself the justice that you may have been waiting for all this time. Ooh, let's just take a moment to breathe. That's an intense message, and I think that message is going to resonate for a lot of feminines. Yeah. Yeah, there's something about this reversal of love. Okay, let's just get more and I'll move on. Anything else about this new life? Anything else about repairing the intuition for divine feminines? Anything else that would support them in taking action steps towards this new life? Anything else, Spirit? Anything else? All right, let me do this in order. Yeah, we have truth. We have boundaries in reverse. And we also have, what does this say? Empowerment in reverse. Okay, that's not an accident. Okay. Okay, feminines, you're being called to really take accountability for your side of the street, identify your passions, and create boundaries around your wants, needs, and desires, and not settle, and not negotiate on those non-negotiables. By bringing truth of your desires and your needs. Here's the thing. I'm going to invite you to do an exercise. Get a piece of paper, fold it in half long ways, and on one side put needs, on the other side put desires. Or you could flip it, whatever order feels right to you, and start making a list. What happens when I ask people to make these lists is often there's that point in which you have to kind of ask yourself or negotiate, okay, is this a need or is this a desire? And it doesn't really matter what the things are and what you're working with. What matters is that you bring your awareness to how you feel about yourself. Believe it or not, this exercise reveals our worthiness. So what are we labeling as a luxury, but it's actually a necessity for functioning? That's a huge thing, especially with feminines, right? We're so used to being in service to everyone and everything other than self. So a piece of this exercise is just getting on paper how you actually think about these things, what you actually think about your needs, your wants, your desires, right? Like maybe at one point in my life, I really needed a vacation. But right now in my life, I need food, water, shelter, and connections with humans, right? Like those are very obvious needs, food, water, shelter. I think everyone needs those as a bare minimum. But do I need a new outfit? No. But someone else who might be drowning in the trenches and needs one glimmer of hope to look forward to, maybe that new outfit is exactly what they need in that moment. No one can make these discernments for you. We can all agree about the food, water, shelter, right? That's an obvious one. But then it's easy to start in the depths and then get a little bit more shallower and shallower, and be able to discern, okay, need versus desire. Okay, anything else about that? Let's get a new deck. Let's see. I'm going to use my fairy deck. I haven't used it in a while. All right, Spirit. What else are the feminines working with? Anything else that they need to know for the highest and best good of self on the planet? I am very fatigued in this reading. I did a right before I came on, I did a 30-minute yoga series, and I felt very zen and blissed out, and I'm feeling a bit fatigued right now. Okay, let's see what we have. All right, we have leadership, set your goals. We have dreams, believe in your dreams. Okay, so both of these cards are planning for the future, right? This goes with our action card over here. And then this card always comes up in this deck, and I never know what to do with it. It says animal bond, stand up for all animals. So one way to read this is literally. So is animal activism a big part of your life? Would it support your energy to go volunteer at an animal shelter, or, you know, be of support in some capacity to an animal, maybe fostering an animal? So that's the literal meaning of this card. The not so literal meaning of this card is, can you stand up for your animal body? Can you stand up for your animal instincts? Can you honor that primal part of self that engages with instinct on an intimate level, that is so connected, right? If you are an antelope and you are on the Serengeti, I don't even know if antelopes are there, and your perceptual system is sensitive in such a way that you can feel, hear, see, smell a lion or a tiger or a cheetah, whatever, a animal of a predator in some capacity. Their nervous system is so sensitive, and it will go on high alert, right? It's the fight or flight mechanism that we have within us, right? I'm sure you've heard a lot about fight, flight. There's also fawning, and a very uncommon one that I've never heard anyone else talk about, except Carolyn Mace and Clarissa Pinkel Esses. They talk about, what about the other nervous system response of praying? Of when there's a sign of chaos, that instinct to pray, that instinct to reach higher than outside of self to something higher. That's a really beautiful instinct. And the first time I ever heard it, I'm like, oh, that feels so much better to my nervous system. That you can actually have a trauma response, meaning your response to trauma, any trauma, not just trauma that's been patterned in your nervous system, but any trauma, is to pray. I thought it was so beautiful, and it changed my whole outlook on how I looked at our sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems, and really understanding the wisdom behind them. So again, how can you take care of your animal body? Are there needs that your animal body has? Are there comforts that your animal body desires? Like even something as getting a very cozy blanket could kind of initiate this physical sensorial response in the nervous system and bring your nervous system at a deeper level of ease. Or is it sensual? Are you craving some sort of sensual experience, something that arouses your senses in such a way that you can ignite that other piece of the nervous system? Are you craving to lose yourself in that animal energy? This could be in so many different capacities. Yes, it could be with a partner and in an intimate moment, but it could also be in creating art. Are you craving to unleash the kraken of your soul and just really surrender to that visceral desire, that visceral yearning? Whew. Anything else, Spirit? Okay. And then enlightenment, pursue spiritual growth. Well, yeah, no shit. Yes, we're all doing this. Is there something else you want to say about that, Spirit? Is there anything else? Okay, here's an actual message coming from it. Has your spiritual path stalled in any way? Have you taken a break? Is it time to come back? So often on the spiritual path, there's this ebb and flow of active and passive energies, of action and, sitting back and relaxing and integrating, and then integrating, penetrating the world. As we saw here, it's not a time of rest, it's a time of taking action. So is it time to take action on your spiritual path? Is it time, do you feel that you've gone as far as you can go within your own level of consciousness, within your own capacity? Is it time to take a course, a class, a retreat? Is it time to find a new guide or spiritual mentor? Does that resonate for you? Because so often, I mean, I'm a promoter of the DIY spiritual path, because I sometimes think there are many interventions and tests that can take us off of our path, but really there's no such thing as off the path, right? Everything will eventually bring us back to true north, to our true north, which looks different for everybody. But I really support the kind of do-it-yourself path of enlightenment, mainly because there is the biggest thing that will affect your path is your direct relationship with source. No one can tell you how to do that. No one can develop that for you. That is between you and God, or you and whatever God you believe in, or the quantum field. It's you and source. You two alone on this journey, and everyone else gets to support your journey on the planet. All right, I just got lost in my brain there for a second, so sorry if that didn't make sense. Oh, okay. This is supporting what I said earlier about expressing your sensuality. Yeah, what does that look like for you? How do you feel when I say sensuality? Do you cringe? Does it feel yummy and juicy? Does it feel awkward and cringy? We have this good fortune, invite magic in. You are a human fallible creature. You are also a divine creature. And between those two polarities, your life flows. So in order to affect that life, you can actually give consent to the spirit world to intervene on your behalf. Invite this magic in. Invite serendipitous moments in. Okay, anything else, Spirit? There's a lot of rainbow energy too, which to me, I think of rainbow children. I think of the next shift in consciousness. I think of the next paradigm. What do we have? Something just popped out. Hold on. What is this? Moving forward, get ready for change. Yeah, feminines, I feel like you're priming the system right now. Okay, this is actually a great, wait, hold on. Let me just see if there's anything else. Anything else, Spirit? Anything else you want to say about what I'm about to say? Yes, they do. What does this say? Epiphany, seek clarity, but it was in reverse. And then we have celebration, let go, and have fun. We've been tracking joy and fun, feminines. That keeps coming up for you. Okay, this is actually a really cool message. I know I said all that stuff about, maybe it's time to find a new coach. Maybe it's time to do a new mentor or a guru or a retreat or something. But this message, this beautiful, beautiful message that's coming out is that have faith, surrender to divine will, because you are in this place of celebration. You are in this place where it is not time to ask more questions and seek more answers. Everything will come in divine timing. It's interesting. I really want to put, hold on, I just have to do this for myself. I really want to put these cards together. We have epiphany and deep knowing in reverse. And so what the epiphany that is on the horizon that will show up through celebration. Remember, think about celebration, joy, and fun as a frequency. Forget like what it looks like and what you're going to do to access those things. Fun and joy especially. Joy has its own frequency. When you can tap into that joy, these epiphanies are going to come in droves. You are going to have intuition. Like, look at this deep knowing card. We have this owl, which for me is a symbol of wisdom, the wise old owl, right? And then we have two moons here, actually. I'm assuming this is two moons here. And moons are, are a mystery card, right? What's hidden? Full moons are what's hidden. Is it the full moon today? I'm like off my game with the full moon cycles. I think it might be a full moon today or tomorrow. It's one of these days. Feminines, your homework is joy. What does that look for you? What gets you there? You know, is it ordering a delicious meal and having this very sensory experience? Is it making love to your beloved? Is it playing with your kids or hanging out with family? Is it going to a movie in the middle of the day? What kind of takes you back into that childlike place? I've said this to you before, feminines, and actually to the overall collective, but what did you used to do as a child that when you did this activity, you lost track of time? Was it art? Was it making mud pies? Was it playing with friends? Was it riding your bike? Whatever comes up for you, just try it. Just try it. I invite you to go do that thing. Is it riding bikes in the neighborhood until the sun goes down and having like losing track of time? What allows you to lose track of time? Find something. And if nothing comes to mind from your childhood, just pick something and experiment with how it feels. Experiment with a new art project or a new, I remember when I was young, I used to cover my bedroom door with like that kind of school teacher paper, you know, that huge roll of paper that all the cool teachers had. Well, I used to cover my door with it and I would paint my door and I would do it for hours. I wouldn't even know. It'd be like 11 p.m. at night and my parents would be yelling at me to stop. We have competition that just came up, but that doesn't resonate at all. Hold on. Summon courage and self-confidence. Oh, okay. The message coming through here is that you are competing with your lower self. You are competing with your adult self that lost touch with its inner child. You are competing with the adult self that lost touch of joy and pleasure and bliss and creativity and imagination. That is what you are competing against. In the unconscious, we have, what does it say? Sorry, Dragonfly, live life to your fullest. Yeah, this feels a little heavy because I think most of us adults feel like a little bit buried by the responsibilities of adulthood, right? There's a lot of stuff to think about. There's a lot of stuff to worry about. And that's just in our 3D lives. That's not even taking into consideration global events, financial events that are happening on the planet. You know, there's so much to be scared of, right? But how would a child handle these events? Let's invite that childlike wisdom in. I haven't used this deck in a while and I've been craving it. I actually had a grizzly bear show up in my dream last night and it called me to pull out my animal deck. We have Butterfly, Rebirth. You can reinvent yourself. Open to the rewards of change. You have brilliance to share with the world. Love every part of your journey. Isn't it interesting that we started this reading with the New Life card in reverse and now we're ending the reading with a rebirth? Then we have Dragonfly Magic. I embrace my transformation. I courageously let go of the past. The magic of nature is in me. I am brilliant and I am blessed. And then we have the Black Bear Guardian card. Gentle and wise protector, give me your confidence and power. Help me protect the ones I love. Awaken my intuition and guide me. Beautiful. Just another reminder that this deep knowing card started it showed up in the reverse, right? So we are repairing our intuition and you don't have to do that alone. You can absolutely ask for help. Okay, let's get a Buddha Wisdom card. Anything for Divine Feminines? Any closing words? Okay, we have an avalanche here. We have cultivate perfection of wisdom. No fire, poison, sword, and water can harm you. So use your energy wisely. Invest in that which reveals more self-awareness, right? Healing thyself is the name of the game. People think it's selfish, that this spiritual path is selfish. I wouldn't say it's selfish, but it is self-centered in the most beautiful way. You're quite literally putting your higher self at the center of self and learning, how do I get closer to that vibration of my higher self? So yes, in that capacity, it is self-centered, but what's the alternative? Making your life about everyone and everything else? That's a really short path to burnout and a very difficult, unfulfilling life. We also have new growth. Okay, what am I saying? Sorry, my mind just shut down for a second. New growth, leaves and fruits come forth with spring. Enlightenment comes hand in hand with perfection of wisdom. Oh my God, we have the second card with a similar theme of invest your energy in things that bear fruits. Right? Be intentional about where you're spending your energetic currency. Make sure you're making investments that are wise. And then we have, as you perceive birth as coming and death as going, you are bound by mental obstacles. Okay, this is the thing you hear me say all the time. Remember that human chaos is divine order. What looks like something dying in our human experience may be rebirth in a spiritual experience. And I'm not talking about actual death, even though it could be, but I'm talking about like the death of a job, the death of a relationship. You have to remember, if you're keeping yourself stuck in these binaries, birth is arriving and death is leaving, then you are limiting self, and you're limiting you're limiting the amount of creativity that you'll have access to on this spiritual path. And I'm just curious for fun. I want to see what's in the unconscious. Okay, we have emptiness is the absolute reality, the source and support of all things. Okay, very silly, funny, direct message from Spirit. Who's not meditating? Are there some of you that have been saying I should meditate for the last 10 years? It's time to meditate. I know it sucks. I know it's like hard to get down there and sit on your cushion or wherever you sit. This is how I feel about yoga. Maybe it's yoga for some of you. It's very difficult for me to bridge that place between the intuitive hit of, oh, I should do yoga, and then actually getting my butt down on the mat and doing the breathing and being present and investing 30 to 45 minutes in my yoga experience. But you know what? It's the gift that keeps on giving. So your higher call to meditate or take care of your mental health. Okay, feminines, lovely reading. I hope this was supportive, and I will see you in the next one.